Yup, it's sand people all right. There's one of them now. Your father killed my whole family. Oh, it's people all right. There's one of them now. You killed my mother. Okay people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm taking a look at the Bandai S.H. Figuarts Star Wars Anakin Skywalker from Attack of the Clones. Now I've said this over and over before, I'm not a huge fan of the prequels themselves, but I do dig scenes, I dig scenarios, and I really like a lot of the characters. And honestly, Anakin isn't one of those. and why am I spending so much money on a figure of a character that I don't really care for? It's because he's the main character. And I like the idea of the character. It's just maybe the execution wasn't that great. Love him, hate him. Maybe part of the reason of his character in the movie was to hate him. He becomes the villain. So, yeah, it's a tragic character, but at the same time, it's hard to feel sorry for the guy. Whatever. I'm not going to get too far into the movie. I'm going to review the figure. But the box is your standard size for the S.H. Figuarts figures. What I don't like about exclusives like this, and this is the exclusive with the extra angry head and the lightsabers, they don't put windows on them. You can't see what's in there. So as soon as I opened the box, I thought, oh, I'm still left in the dark on whether the QC is great, the face looks good. I don't know until I get into the package. But you get the promotional pictures on the front. You get kind of this fuzzy picture here like, this is the exclusive. On the side, you get another promotional picture of Anakin. On the back, you get more promotional pictures. Here's the exclusive head right there. You got the Episode 2 Obi-Wan going along with the Episode 2 Anakin. And then down here, you have some warnings, the unreadables. It probably says something like, do not mess with the figure too much. Excessive whining and moodiness are possible. On the side, you get the silver motif of, like, is that the Death Star? Something like that, I don't know, but it's Star Wars logo. Same thing on top. On the bottom, you get some legalese, some more unreadables. But I'm going to get this open and see what's going on here. Now, I don't know how the standard Anakin is packed, but it looks like they put the exclusive stuff in a separate tray behind Anakin. He's got his angry head. He has the 2 extra lightsabers. There's also instructions, the extra hands, and how to pop the head, put the other one on, and how to put the lightsaber into the hand. And then the lightsaber going onto the belt. Seems a little bit, basic, I guess. I like the warning delicate for the heads to put those on. I probably worry less about the heads and more about the hands. And it looks like all the lightsabers just slip into the hand without removing any of the pieces of it. And there we go, all out of the package. And I have to say, nice figure, but not super nice figure. The sculpt itself looks great, the proportions, the wrinkles, the boots, that kind of thing, but it seems a little bit flat. With previous Figuarts Jedi, we had a little bit of texture on the clothing, at least the underclothing. If I remember right, the black outer part of Anakin's robes here is kind of a smooth leathery look, but I think the browns are cloth, so they seem a little bit plain here. But at least it has a little detail with the wrinkles. And then the paints on the body, I hate to say this too, but they seem a little bit plain also. My eyes almost see kind of a dirty wash to it, but it doesn't really stick out. And then going from the sleeves to the underrobe to the pants to the boots, not a lot going on. But then around the belt, the cartridges, the brass buttons, there are some little details here. And then up to the head, and I'll talk about the neutral face here and then the alternate head later. But I really like the head. The sculpt here is good, but it feels a little bit foreheady to me. The hair seems a little bit high. The hair is nicely detailed, don't get me wrong. It's got the nice little grooves in it and stuff, but I don't know, it just seems kind of high above the eyes. And then the face printing tech for the most part here is good. I've had problems in the past, but on this face, yeah, I like it. The eyes are punched in nicely, there's some lip color, the eyebrows, everything works good. But there is a slight tint difference from head to neck. The face just looks a little bit darker than the rest of the skin tones. And then the gold look we've seen in the past, which I've kind of gotten used to, to tell the truth. On Luke, it was really heavy, and then they've kind of brought it down with each consecutive release. And for Anakin, it's more of a brown, dirty color to highlight the darker browns of the undercoat. His Padawan braid here is a softer material. It does kind of look like he's wearing eyeliner. There's also a shine to the face that makes him look sweaty. But again, I'm kind of okay with that. It just kind of fits Anakin's character for me. But the big thing for me comes in with articulation, and that's mostly head movement. He can't look up. He can only look forward. I guess with the Jedi robe coming up here, it blocks the neck, and then the hair coming down blocks the head. But on top of that, the head doesn't really have a lot of movement at the top of the neck. I don't know if it's because it doesn't have a lot of room up in there. They've sealed it off too much. The look is great. It's almost seamless going from neck to head, but that also hinders the articulation there, so not a great thing. But going over articulation, there's a dumbbell joint in the top of the neck going up into the head, but that itself doesn't really have a lot of movement at the bottom of the dumbbell. It's essentially just a ball joint coming up. Then it goes into the head, and like I said, that's hindered there. But at the bottom of the neck, you do get down. You get a little bit of tilt, and then swivel. The shoulder is a ball joint coming out to a cup that covers the articulation, then out to a hinge. So you get up, you get around. You also get a little bit up and down. Not a lot of forward and back, though. There's a little bit more in this shoulder, and I don't know if it seems like the cup is really tight around the ball joint there. There's a swivel hinge swivel at the elbow. Comes up way past 90. Then there is some swivel, but like most of the other Jedi, if you crank it a little bit too far to the side and you try to straighten it out, it's going to crash right there. So you got to line it back up and then straighten out the arm. There's the Figuarts ball joint in the wrist too. You can get a little bit up and down, and then there's swivel, and then you can maneuver that to go side to side too. But it's really sunk into the sleeve, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. There's a ball joint in the waist. You can get forward, you can get back, you can get side, side. Pretty good range of movement there. And then swivel. The hips are on a drop down joint coming out to a ball into the hip, so you can bring it down. You can get forward, you can get back a little bit, you can get out. Maneuvering it around that much, I'm going to kick it back up in there. You can see that the skirt piece came out around the front of the black part right there, also in the back. So it is flapped to get out of the way. You just got to kind of dress them back up whenever you come back to neutral position. There's a little bit of swivel on that ball at the top. Figuarts ball joint in the knee, kind of a swivel hinge swivel, comes up to about right there. There is some swivel right there. Got a dumbbell joint in the ankle, goes back, not so great. It crashes on the back of the foot there. Forward, not bad. Rocks back and forth. And there's a toe joint comes up pretty much all the way. For accessories, Anakin comes with 2 fists. He comes with a set of splayed open hands to use the Force or at ease or waving high, whatever. And then he comes with a set of right and left lightsaber wielding hands. Now, because of the design, I guess, the sleeve right here is a little bit deep. So getting up in there to grab the hand to pull it off, yeah, a little bit of maneuvering around, but it's not bad. But getting other hands on, both because of the tightness of the hole and having to get down into the sleeve, can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. I'm not saying it's impossible, there you go, but it's a little bit more difficult than we're used to on the Figuarts. And then the grip hand is to hold his lightsaber. And this is a great little sculpt. It's of Anakin's first lightsaber. The silver paint detailing is really, really nice. And most of all, I like that they went back to a color of blue for the lightsaber blade. If you remember back to Episode 2 Obi-Wan, his lightsaber was a little bit purplish. It was still blue, but kind of that off blue. This is back to blue. And I know against my blue background it looks kind of clear, but trust me, it's a nice blue. And for that, like the instructions said, it just kind of slips in. But it's hard to get him into a two-hand pose because you can't get the end of the lightsaber out of the sleeve. You can kind of fake it. He does have the articulation to get around to that, but the lightsaber just doesn't want to cooperate. Well, it's the sleeve mostly, but you know what I mean. Another accessory is his lightsaber hilt with no blade. It just has the peg to go into the belt. But like the lit lightsaber, it has all the same details on the hilt. It's a nice little extra to just have hanging there. And then for the time limit exclusive accessories, there's the blue lightsaber. Again, nice little silver hilt. It's a little bit plain, but again, that's how it was in the movie. It's got a little bit of gold trim, a couple of red buttons, black button on bottom. And then there's the green lightsaber. Same thing. It's got the silver hilt, a little bit of black detailing, a gold button, red button. They're nice for what they are. And these are even easier to put in the hand because of how generic they are. They just slip right in. And then there's the angry head. This is the other time limit exclusive. It's his angry face. This is the one I really, really wanted, and I hate to say it, but it's a little bit disappointing. When you look at it straight on, it's got that Shannon Doherty kind of look where one eye is riding away from the other, up and away from the other. And that's on top of the eyes being printed a little bit light, almost like it's kind of glazed over. And then to switch that out, you got this, put the angry head on, pops right on there, not a problem at all. Now the angry head almost has a darker wash than the regular face. So again, the skin tones don't quite match up here. I want to like this head, and at angles, it looks pretty good. But yeah, once you look at it straight on, you can see that the left eye is up and away. It's sick of the nose's attitude and just wants to get away from the rest of the face. And then you look even closer, the left eye, even though the sculpt itself is moving away, the printing on it is looking forward, while the right eye is kind of looking towards the nose, towards the center. So on top of the eyes not being sculpted straight, they're not even looking in the exact same direction. Here's Anakin with the episode 2 Obi-Wan. Now, I wasn't exactly impressed with this Obi-Wan. There's some design decisions that I'm not happy with. The head itself, Obi-Wan's a little bit shorter than Anakin. It's how it should be. The heads are a little bit proportionally wrong, though. They look kind of weird side by side, but this will definitely work on the shelf. Here he is with my favorite Figuarts Jedi, Mace Windu. It's just a great figure. Good range of motion, and again, the size here pretty much works. I like Mace being slightly bigger. Here's Anakin with the Luke. Again, good height difference, although we never see them side by side, so yeah, not yet anyway. And then here he is with the Black Series Episode 3 Anakin. The Black Series has some height on the Figuarts, but we're used to that. The Figuarts just runs a little bit smaller. That's how they've all been, so it's no surprise here. So at the end of the day, I'm glad I have this. It's a cool figure, but it's not super cool. You know what I mean? It's nice, but it's not super nice. It's just kind of there. I guess I build up Figuarts in my mind a little bit too much, but that's only based on the figures we used to get from them. And I'm not saying this is bad. I'm not saying this is QC ridden. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying it seems like they've lost some of that shine. And I don't know if it's because we've gotten so many at this point. So many. We haven't got a ton. It just seems like they've peaked, and now they're on the other side of that peak. And I guess a little bit of disappointment also comes from the fact that I'd much prefer an Episode 3 Anakin. I could see this as an exclusive, new right arm for the straps and the robot hand and stuff, give us different heads, and then the exclusive could be Sith eyes or something. That would have been a little bit more exciting. But here, the angry face, the exclusive part of it, I keep calling the angry head and the extra lightsabers exclusive, but really, this whole set is exclusive. There was just an exclusive on top of the regular exclusive. But the angry head really isn't up to par. I've kind of had a problem with some of the print tech, a little bit of the sculpt with the past few releases, and this just continues that trend. Even though I wasn't planning on it, I'll probably use the neutral face here. It just looks better in general. But if we ever get the Episode 3 Anakin, it better be angry, it better be gritty and dirty, and the Sith eyes better look damn fantastic, because that's my end-all be-all Anakin for the shelf. So Anakin, Obi-Wan, Revenge of the Sith, I'm hoping for great things there. This is a good placeholder until then. I'm happy with this, but it's just kind of throw it on the shelf. That looks good. What else I got in the pile to open up now? So this is super hard to get now, especially the exclusive set. If you're on the fence about it, don't go blowing shitloads of money on it. Wait it out, see what happens. Hopefully there's an Episode 3 version coming. But if you absolutely need an Episode 2 Anakin, if you absolutely need all the Figuarts, yeah, you might as well track this down, because there's no guarantee that the prices will go down. There's no guarantee that there will be an Episode 3 Anakin. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.